think you should be.
Hello everybody, it's Gary here and I'm finally back. I'm in half term from school, so I've got a week off. So I thought I'd bring out a few Paragon videos for you, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to show you my Kwang deck build and a bit of gameplay from him in the jungle. So let's take a look at his abilities. You should all know these by now. Got Light of the Heavens, so this is a beams of light from the heavens strike Kwang and his sword. So this will deal 75 ability damage, but it will also give Kwang 40 basic armor and 40 ability armor for 2.5 seconds. Next one, Judgment of the Heavens. Kwang throws his sword to the heavens. When it lands, it deals 60 ability damage and tethers enemies to it for 1.75 seconds. This is really handy if you're trying to catch up to an enemy and you want them to stay put, just so you can kill them off. It's also really handy for a team fight where you can just chuck your sword into that team fight. It'll tether them all there. You use your ultimate and you can deal a hell of a lot of damage. Next one, Gift of the Heavens. This is a passive, so Kwang's sword bursts with light, creating an aura around it that gives 8 lifesteal to Kwang and 5 lifesteal to allies, which has a huge radius around it. This is brilliant for Kwang, just a lot of lifesteal, really handy in the jungle as well for that early lifesteal, so another good ability. And the final one, his ultimate is Fury of the Heavens. Kwang spins his blade around him in an area of AoE. And the final one, Fury of the Heavens, which is Kwang's ultimate. Kwang spins his blade around him in an AoE, dealing 220 ability damage and applying a 400 max movement speed slow for 2 seconds. So this is a really good ability to use. I think most of his abilities join together and make a really good package. There's that one that tethers it, Judgment of the Heavens, and then you use your ultimate and that will deal a hell of a lot of damage, especially in a team fight. So let's take a look at the deck build that I've got for Kwang. So we start with the usual health potion and mana potion. I've got the Guardian's Ward there as well. Drop a few wards in the jungle as usual. And I've started using a lot of 6-point cards. So the first one I use is Adamant Edge. That's got 2 mana casts and a mana strike on it, but just use the cards that you've got, the 1-point cards. This gives 6 power, 50 health and 12 power once it's fully upgraded. My other 6-point cards is another Adamant Edge and the Wind Carver Blade, just to get that attack speed up. So I've got 3 minor kinetics on there, just another 6-point card. Next cards I use are Adamant Edges with health on. So that's got a Divine Health, and Lesser Health on it. And the same one for that Adamant Edge. It's just so you're a bit more tanky, because you need to get up close and personal when you're fighting, so you need to stay alive as much as possible. And the other 3 cards, a very simple build. Void Steel Daggers with 3 major casts on all of them. As I say, just use those 3-point damage cards or power cards that you can. Doesn't have to be major casts, can be major strikes or whatever. That's the build, guys. Simple enough. It's quite tanky but a lot of damage, and because his ability gives you some lifesteal, you don't need to put anything like that on there. So yeah, just make him tanky, a lot of damage, a little bit of attack speed, and you've got lifesteal already on him. So let's take a look at the gameplay for Jungle Kwang.